Hello, guys and gals, animal friends, and spirit pals. Welcome to Spirit Whisper Channel. My name's Mark. You could also call me Spirit Whisper if you want to. I don't see many people here today. Hi, Lark. Anyway, I hope you're here to join us for animal readings. As you know, on Mondays at 2 o'clock, I work with my guide, Pan, and the tarot cards, and we look at your questions about animals and nature, or your pets, whatever it is you want to talk to. But it's pretty much nature and animal focused today. And you might notice that Debbie's not here today, who I usually read with on Mondays. So, but I have another lovely friend who I'm so excited agreed to come on today. She's a wonderful medium and psychic, and I read with her at least once a month, and I love her to pieces. And so today she agreed with hardly any notice at all to come on and read with me and read with your animals today. And that is, let's give a big welcome to SunPsychic Jean. Yay!
What a wonderful intro.
There's a lot of applause, but you have to receive it telepathically.
I hear it.
I'm so happy that you agreed to come on here. I love you to pieces, sweet, and I love reading with you. And we'll have fun today doing this.
Absolutely. I'm honored to be invited. It's going to be a great day.
And okay, so what's been happening with you? Hi, Wiki, Jean, this week. Anything exciting?
Yes, we had a little bit of a celebration for St. Patty's Day yesterday on Sherry, Voices from the Swamp, and Amy, Warrior Princess. We just got together and chatted a little bit about these gnomes and things, our experiences with gnomes. And I shared that one of my friends actually saw one. And this was before I knew I was a psychic medium, back in my 20s. And she said that she's like a really big meditator, and she always had, like, beautiful things around her room, and she would have sage her room and play the singing bowls, and like she had really good energy in her room where she would sleep. And so that she would take off her rings and her bracelets and her earrings and put them on her nightstand, and she would go to bed. And one morning, it was like sort of around just before dawn, she just opened her eyes and she saw this little man, and he had like wrinkly skin. And she said he was like looking around and dancing around her jewelry and like really just having a little bit of fun. And she said he looked like a turtle without the shell, like just wrinkly and and she said, "Who are you?" Like telepathically. And he said, "I live out front of the house in the boxwood bushes." And that he is like a tree gnome, and he loves all the incense and all the bells and all the singing bowls. Like she attracted him, and he was in there and dancing around. I tell you, when she described what he looked like, I could see it.
That's so cool. I love it. There's this guy on YouTube, this weird guy. Oh, I'm not going to be able to think of his name. If you watch them, who takes these short videos of like pixies and elves and things in the woods.
Wow.
But he's in like Wales, or he goes deep in the wood. He's in England, like that area. Can't remember his name. Maybe it'll come to me. But like in the last couple of years, and so I watched a lot of them, and they're very weird. And I don't know, I didn't know what to think. It's like, but the creatures that you'll get little glimpses of look like what you're describing too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, except, and he'll see different ones, and he'll call them different. And like he kind of can tell you where they live. He's a little bit loopy, like, I don't know. I feel like he's lived in another dimension. So, because he loses his train of thought and stuff, but it also seems like the kind of person that they would show themselves to, because he's not very threatening or anything. I don't know if it's real or not, but it's very captivating.
Yes.
And I've
Yes.
been watching all of his videos. I wish I could think of his name.
They they are serious about that, Mark,
Yeah,
over there in England. And I did see a documentary once where I think it was like in Scotland or Ireland that if they know that there's fairies on their land, these men are like forever protecting of their land. They will not ever tell anybody, no pictures, no magazine, no news people. They will keep it hush hush, and they will protect them. And they uh, will say, I believe in them, but they'll never tell where they are, who they are. They'll like it's to protect them because they know it, they'll make a like a circus act out of it, you know?
right. No, I believe that too. Yeah. I know that's where way back in the day I found a book. His name was Rock, and the book was about he met Pan and they worked together, and then he built a big garden there, and it's called Finhorn Garden. It's still there. And so they worked with the fairies and the elves and all that. It was a very compelling book. That was before I ever worked with Pan. But it certainly piqued my interest. But so, and ever since then too, and I've known this for a fact, I always try to keep a little area in my yard or wherever wild for the fairies and the elves and the nature spirits, and not like manicured and groomed. Just let it be kind of wild, even if it's a little corner. They love that. Like where I don't know if we, even if we call it weeds, I don't care. I just let it grow and be all like the way it wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
And they like you to give them a little wild patch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
But
it
I, oh,
disturbs
go ahead,
their
sweetie.
natural, it just disturbs their natural protective protection and their natural habitat. It's really important. Um, but one year, my husband actually built a teepee for me out of sticks and some other natural material. Like I don't know if he got some bark or he got some thin material that he was able to lean up against the sticks, and he got a string and he tied all the sticks together. And because I wanted like a hut, like a little top thing, and then the sticks. And he tried to build that for me. So, because I had a fairy garden in the house, it wasn't quite cutting it. I needed it outside. So he built one there. And then, like a day or two later, Mark, you're laughing because you know what happened to it. It was demolished. And we found out that the squirrel was like making a little a bow up in his nest up there, and the squirrel came, untied that bow, and brought it all the way up to his nest.
I love that. So cute. Little squirrel. I know. I like, I've said this before on my channel, but when I first met with Pan, I would have these long meditations with him where it seemed like he was teaching me classes about, it
Mm.
was like a college class, but he would be teaching me stuff about plants and animals and minerals and fairies and elves and blah, blah. And during that time, he would give me projects, like homework, sort of. And so I was really playing around with planting flowers and growing them and seeing if it would make a difference if I call on the fairies to work with this plant as opposed to this one where I didn't do it. And of course, it made huge differences. And I was growing this yellow rose bush, and we lived in a house that was on a raked like mountainside. So the front yard went like a slant. You couldn't really sit on it. It was just a slope. But at the top, where the steps went up to the house door, there was a little small square of land, and so I planted a rose bush. But the house was still higher. The window from the living room was way up, and so I wanted to be able to see the roses from the window, which seemed impossible because it was so far. But that was my goal, and I sat with the fairies that we were going to grow this rose bush like Jack and the Beanstalk. It was going to grow way tall, and sure enough, it did. And what it did was it would grow. It would shoot up one branch, like stalk. What do you call a rose? Because it was a single rose plant. It wasn't like a bushy rose. It was,
Oh, okay.
what do you call those? Just
Hmm.
long stem. There you go, long stem roses. And so that plant would literally grow like 4.5, 5 feet. I mean, that one stem, and then bloom a gorgeous rose on top of it that would be right in front of the window. But it had to grow so like a skyscraper. It was so weird.
Oh my
But it
goodness.
was just that thing of, well, now how am I going to deny that the fairies helped me with this because it's so bizarre and roses don't even really grow like that. I mean, so anyway, so I always, call on the nature spirits if you're gardening or your house plants or any kind of thing like that, because they love to work with it. Call on, speaking of the gnomes, they love the minerals and the crystals and the
Oh,
rock.
yes, yes.
Um, so, they'll come in or they'll work with your minerals and things, your crystals. So you can call on them and interact with them and communicate
That
with them.
reminds me, I do have some chips, some crystal chips that I had that they come in like a little vial. Maybe I can put that out in my little fairy garden.
Oh, yeah, they
Uh,
love that. Yeah,
mhm.
they love you to give them a little stuff. Like, well, they like to be acknowledged like anything and appreciated like anything. But they do like little things, like little shiny stuff. That's interesting because that guy that goes in search of the pixies and stuff, he'll take little candies and he'll like stick them on a stick. And like once he saw him and he had like three little, they were some kind of British candy that I didn't know, but stuck them on little sticks. So they looked almost like little umbrellas. They were little. And then he stuck them around where he thought they were. And then he walked way away. And then the camera, that little thing came out and got them and took them, like gathered them up, like picking them. And
You have to send me that
I know, I'm
thing.
going to send you a link.
Try and link it to the show notes below because I want to see that. But I think it's honey drops. They like honey, natural honey,
Yeah,
and I think those honey drops are what when you said that, when you told me the shape of them, that's what made me think. I think they're honey drops
yep.
that he had out there on the sticks. Wow.
Yeah, it's so cool. And plus they wear little outfit, not like, but sort of like clothes, but they're made out of, and so they love to scavenge and forage. I don't know. It really opened my mind a lot just by watching that. It's hard because, these days everybody fakes and lies and cheats about everything. So there's that. This guy doesn't seem like that kind of intelligence to do that. You know what I mean? He has this young guy that goes around and films with him, but I don't know. I'm going to send you the link so you can go watch some and then you tell me.
I'll invite you back. We'll do an investigation for sure. No,
Because
it's
I kind of
amazing.
came
It's
away believing it. And there's a lot of different, and the sightings will be brief or like they'll follow him. Like he'll be leaving the wood. Like there's one point where he thinks he upset them. And one was like, oh, getting all angry. And so then he leaves, but then he'll go, but I think, and you'll look way back and you'll see it run through. So it's following him down to make sure he leaves them. I don't know. It's very cool. Anyway, you guys need to look that up. If you just put
uh,
in Pixies in YouTube, he'll probably come up.
oh, okay.
He's got a beard. I don't know why I can't think of his name. Oh, I hate that. But anyway,
Okay, it'll come to
I'm
you
going to
maybe.
send you the link. But anyway.
And you saw the like the flying little fairies, the ones that are like about an inch and a half, and they catch those like on door ring camera, the door
Oh, yeah.
cameras, and
Yeah.
they I've seen those, and they look like little things with wings, but they have legs. Like you're like that's more than just a bug. Yeah.
I know. And plus all that camera thing, they're just catching a lot of stuff on those door cameras and on those
Yeah.
trail cameras. Because
Yes.
this week I
Deer
was watching,
cameras.
yeah, a
Hmm.
video on trail camera creatures, cryptid. And then there were several where they catch that weird long-legged white. It looks like an animal, but it has really long arms and legs, and it's very creepy and horrifying looking. But I've seen it now several different times.
Wow. Well, I
Anyway,
just are we're going to be doing some pet. Today's our pet readings day,
that's
everybody.
right.
In case it's your first time here, If you have any questions regarding your pets, whether they're still here in this world or whether they've crossed over, we do psychic, which is in this world, and mediumship, which is if they've crossed over, right?
Yep, that's
Mm-hmm.
right. Well, we got a few things starred, so we're going to get started here. Let me tell you guys who I starred. Michelle R., Lark Kemper, Karen Doyle, Suki, Kelly S., and Froxy Roxy. So those are some questions that I starred. So if you're saying, hey, wait a minute, I asked a question, you didn't say my name, put it in again, okay? Because I missed it, although I don't think I did. All
I think
righty.
I
So
think it was the fairies and the gnomes.
maybe so. The only different thing is Facebook. So I don't know. Anyway, they helps my lost pets. My friend's cat is missing. Oh, Wiki asked a question. Melissa asked a question. Okay. No, we're not gonna. Yeah, I got your question, Wiki. All righty. So we're gonna look at. Sorry, guys, I got a little discombobulated there. At Michelle's question, my neighbor and friend's dog Tilly Nordquist.
Oh,
Is that the dog's name, Tilly? Passed away yesterday while we were away from the weekend, or your friend. I was fooled because of the last name. While we were away from the weekend, does she have any messages yet? Passed away yesterday. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry.
that is so hard, Michelle. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh. Oh my gosh. It affects the whole neighborhood. That dog, I feel like that dog has been in her life for many years, at least, 14, 15 years. I feel like you can feel almost like a vacuum of loss, where the energy, this dog had big energy, lots of love. Everybody loved the dog. I feel like, and like, oh, so it was almost like a neighborhood dog. Like everybody in the neighborhood would be like, hey, I don't know. Can you tell us if Tilly is the dog's name or your friend's name? But we'll say neighbor dog.
yeah, Michelle, are
Um,
you still here? On this show, we like you to be here when we're doing your question. So if you're here, say hi.
so I think it might be the dog's name because she
There's,
said Tilly passed away yesterday. So I think Tilly is the dog's.
yeah, she's
It's a
the dog.
wonderful. Yeah. Yep. Yep. I feel like she had such big energy and a lot of love, and like the neighbor shared her love, and when she would walk her, everybody would be like, hi Tilly, hi, like she was very well known and very well loved in the neighborhood, and almost a little bit not goofy, but like really like happy go lucky kind of a disposition. And I'm not sure. Did she say what kind? I see it's like a golden retriever, or some sort of a golden. I see like a bigger dog, and maybe like a golden colored dog. And I see one that you really had a lot of like love, and would wag, 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 wag. I mean, just I see her getting excited, and really, the whole neighborhood's dog. Um, she said she feels honored, that everybody is remembering her, and is taking this sacred time to honor her, and to like memorialize her. Um, oh wow. She said she's going to be sticking around and helping through the grief as well. She's going to be almost like making little sounds or moving her toys around, or something like this, that she wants to sort of just ease the impact of her loss a little bit. How about you, Mark?
Yeah, Michelle, was the dog's owner away? It feels like it. Was she gone when she passed? I know you said we were away from the weekend. Were you with your friend and then the doggy passed while you were away? I feel like that's what's going on. But anyway, um, and while I'm looking here, hey Ray, did you have a hard time finding us? I know there's something going on with the channel or something. So
Oh, she was. They were away together. Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
um, you know, that's screwing with my brain. The whole like there's some kind of internet failed rail. But so yeah, because she wanted to pass. She chose to pass while you were away. Um, but her passing was fairly easy. It was like just slipping in, just slipping over to the other side. I don't see it being very dramatic. Yay. So it was sort of like going to sleep. But in some ways, she kind of preferred your friend wasn't there. I think she just thought it was a way, it was kind of to help take care of her, or in a way she did it for her, sounds like. Um, she's aware that you're honoring her today, number one. So I know you said they're having a service, but that's like, here we are at their service and honoring me, you, me, and we, our relationship together. So the service is for her, but also for the relationship that was created by knowing her. And it was a very strong one, very emotionally attached. And you know how sometimes, I don't know if we think about it that often. I realize I don't really, but even though life's everlasting and the soul goes on and moves into a new expression, it's also sad, emotional for the animal when they're ready to transition. It's like for them to say goodbye to this lifetime. So, it's hard for us to say goodbye, but it is for them too, in a way. And so that was part of her reasoning for why she kind of wanted to go by herself. Okay. I'm going to start this question. I'm just going to pull one more card. She's not saying too much about what's next because this just happened. So she's sort of she's kind of, more attention is still on earth than it is on heaven right now. So she's still like, she sees that there's a service. She sees that you guys are, grieving for her, paying homage to her, loving her. So her attention's a little bit more on that than on what's next. But she's made a clear cross. She crossed. And what's next will be where do I, this is what's next, purpose, following her path. So she hasn't quite got there yet. Like in a week from now, I might be able to see a little bit more what she's planning on doing. Is she going to stay there for a while? What is she going to do? So right now it feels like it's a little too soon to decipher that. Her passing was easy though. And I don't feel a lot of pain or anything. It just seemed to go pretty much quickly. Anything else from you, Jean?
So, Michelle, do you have a pet that may be missing Tilly as well? Because I was just curious if they had other pets, and it said no. And then I said, "Does Michelle have a pet?" And yeah, I'm not sure, but she did say it was a little black dog, not a golden retriever kind of dog. So, but it was like it was everybody's dog. And the energy of this dog really felt very loved by everybody in the neighborhood, and I think everybody would call his name or her name, say Tilly, hi Tilly, and it's feeling the love that it received from everybody in the neighborhood, like it was very much appreciated. um
Yes, and Tilly has a sister cat named Stella.
okay.
And I
Yeah.
imagine her attention's still quite a bit on Stella, because I still see her very focused on Earth, sort of, on her house, you guys' energy, you know. She doesn't really have any regrets or anything like that. Uh, you know, it was a great life, spoiled, you know, lucky cat. Now, Melissa, I see your comment there. I always tell mine to wait till I am with them. And I have a cat right now that I'm afraid I'm losing. Calliope. Yeah, I get that. I, several years ago when I was in California, I came home to visit my mom in Kentucky because it was their 80th birthday. And so it was a big thing. And I planned to fly home. And just before time to go, like the day before, my dog, Olio, got really sick. And I got really concerned. It felt like, oh no, this is transition. I felt like he was going to transition, and it was weirding me out. And I couldn't really cancel that trip. I just had to go, and I did that, Melissa, where I sat with him and I prayed and I asked. Now, I did say, I want you to do what your spirit most needs to do for its journey, but if it's okay with you, I'd prefer to be with you when you cross. If you could possibly wait for me to get back, because I was so worried, because it was that, you know, I understand if you can't, I wanted you to be your choice, but if I can make a bid in there, I'd like to do it. And so I was on the trip, and my partner called to say, you know, he was being really quiet about Olio, but I know. And when I asked him, well, he's not doing too good, and you know, he misses you, but everything's okay. He didn't want me to worry, you know. So, but I was worried. But when I got home, Olio waited. He met me at the door. It didn't look like his spirit was there in him at all. It was just like a
Oh,
nothing. And then that evening, he just died in my arms. So he did wait for me to get home. But I think it's because it suited him as well. I also had a cat once, and a lot of times cats will wander off. That's sort of their nature, to go off alone and pass away. They kind of have that thing. And when my cat, all of a sudden she disappeared, and I immediately knew that's what was happening. I was going, no. And so again, I like went into meditation and talking. And I asked her if it was okay with her. I understood. You know, I always want to leave it to them. I don't want to feel like change your thing for me, but if I could have anything, this would be great if it doesn't, you know, affect anything negatively. And I asked her if she would come back to the house and just die in the house. I didn't really want her to die out somewhere and I wouldn't be able to find her, know where she was.
mm, mm.
And I got very clearly that she was trying to transition. And then that evening she came back home, and then she died at home with me. She came back inside. So, you know, that can work that way. But I always just, and, you know, I like to share my experiences with you guys. I feel like that's the best way I can do this channel, really, because I've had a lot of weird experiences in my life for whatever reason. And I have all these, you know, but I just always think it's important, as long as it's for your highest good as well. You know, I don't really want to infringe on what's going on with you, but you mean a lot to me, and I would like to be there in your crossing if that's possible. So anyway,
Yeah.
but I've also had this other experience very strongly where an animal did not want me to be there during the passing for whatever reason as well. So, you know, in their choice, they would rather not. But having said that, and that's with zoo animals. I'm trying to think back. Every one of my pets, and I've had a many, have passed with me at home, you know, at home with me. So, but I want it that way, you know. Okay, let's move on. Well, I went off on a tangent there. I don't know what happened.
It was important to share for sure.
I know every once in a while it's like, Mark, tell this story. Okay, let's see. Lark, so are you just looking for us to surely you're not saying that your wife is a horse's end. I don't think that's it. But I think you're saying your wife's horse, his name is Ringo, and then you have a German Shepherd, Vivica. And of course, I'm playing Lark. You know me, I'm a jokester. But it looked like my wife's horse end. Okay, well, I like big butts, but cannot lie. Okay, I mean, okay. Are you still here, Lark? So I'm assuming, but you know how it is when you assume. Um, these that they have both passed, Ringo and Vivica, and you're just looking to see if there's any messages from them. Not just, but that's what your question is, right? Ringo. If it's wrong, say wrong.
He says, that's good. He says, yes, that's good.
No, yeah, okay. I think he's laughing too because I was making too. Yeah, I see you're here. Thank you very much. We rescued Ringo from the Amish. Aha. He's a beautiful racehorse. So he is now currently. So you still have Ringo. Is that true? No, they're both still here. Okay, that's why I was asking that because I wasn't exactly getting one way or another. Okay. So you got your little shepherd and you got your horsey, and you just wondering if they have any messages. Now we're on track. Thank you, Lark. Well, they're kind of wrestling for who's going to step up for me. So they're both kind of anxious to talk, or they're glad they have this opportunity, kind of. But let's see who wants to say. So, is Ringo the newest one to the family? Has he more recently joined the family? I'm just curious. Vivica seems more in charge of stuff, and feels like still works on a relationship with the horse. What are you hearing, Jean?
Definitely that Ringo is a prima donna, so to speak, and Ringo thinks that Ringo is all that, and Ringo demands attention and is noisier, needier, a little whinier, a little more vocal, and Vivica is just very much dutiful, has responsibility, and is right by your side, right by your knee, wherever you go. Even if you're starting one way and you forget something, you turn back the other way, she's right with you. She's right by your knee, walking with you like your shadow. And I think that Vivica is helping you and your wife with Ringo. I feel like Vivica has Ringo's number, if you know what I mean, and she's trying to help you guys help you out with this rescue. And it's not that Ringo has a personality that is egotistical. It's just that Ringo has Ringo had something to prove at a certain point in her life, and it feels like I don't know if it's a she or a he, but if Ringo doesn't they don't think that they think that they still need to prove something, because at one point there was some competition, there was some breeding in competition, that you need competition and you need to be, noisier and better and noticeable. There was something about that she still has, or Ringo still has, that in her energy. But Vivica is all about, what do you want me to do, Dad? What do you want me to do? What can I do? What did you hear her? Did you hear her? Like, just always looking at you. Oh, we spoil the hell out of both of them, he says.
Feels like Ringo inherited that haughtiness, or that attitude is like it was in his breed or his line or something. It feels like, I feel like him saying, yeah, a line of, like he comes from a special line. He feels very special. There's no doubt about that. I do hear Vivica saying, yeah, Ringo thinks he's all that in a bag of chips, but really I'm the boss around here, says Vivica. I'm the one that's the house animal, and you're out there, and so you think you're all that, but the truth is, see, I know. Look at Lark, what Lark just said. Ringo wants to be the alpha. That's right. But Vivica's saying, yeah, you in a bag of chips. I do not think so, because Vivica says, yeah, this is like a pushy and thinks knows everything, but not really. Um, it's very cute, though. Vivica's still dealing with this horse a little bit and trying to get it together here. The horse, though, gets this Six of Swords going, leaving troubled waters into smooth waters, what this card usually says. Because he, I think, is Ringo a boy? I think so.
Yeah.
Feels like this is kind of his retirement in a way. Like retirement from rules, regulations. I don't know if he actually raced. All that. So this is a lot more my time of luxury, kind of. And he feels he deserves it. He's got quite an attitude, this horse does. It's not really, he keeps saying, I was born with it. It's like, it's who I am, kind of. It's not necessarily to be a brat. It's just, this is the way I was supposed to be. Very cute. Vivica, though, is not going to release any of her relationship. She's not giving up any of her stuff to this horse, she says. No. She's really connected to you, Lark. I know you said my German Shepherd, but yeah, I would say that too. And it's almost like a little bit, she showed me a little bit of like two teams in a tug of war, and here's you and the dog, and then there's your wife and Ringo, and there's a little back and forth going on a little bit. Yeah, they both have a big, I get that completely. It's like at a standoff a little bit. It's not negative. As a matter of fact, you probably laugh watching, their reactions with one another and everything. But it's a little bit like we've picked teams. But I'm saying to them all, everybody, it's one big happy family. And there's enough for everybody here. And Ringo can be the alpha of the horses, and Vivica can be the alpha of the dogs. You don't have to try to axe one out to have the other. There's enough room for both. They're all going to work out and work themselves into a little relationship. They already have, but it's still growing, and their relationship will still continue to change between the dog and the horse. But it's positive. It's kind of, we all realize that we're in it for the long run. Horse is not going anywhere, I don't think, and the dog is not going anywhere. Looks like we're here for the long run, and it's all going to work out. Anything else from Eugene?
They'll be loyal friends to one another for sure, and there's no real competition. And if push came to shove, they would definitely be join forces for the greater good. And like if there was a storm outside or something, like Vivica would go and save Ringo, or Ringo would make noise if Vivica needed her. Like they are loyal and they will back each other up without a second thought for sure. They're both loyal and dedicated, but while they can, they want to bring joy into your lives and almost distract you from things that may have weighed down your burdens that you may have or responsibilities you may have, and they know that them taking the attention is helpful for both of you. I just think it's beautiful. Hmm.
And I think this adoption went really easy with the horse. It feels like the horse just moved right in. It was like not a big thing. It was like he was ready to move into this new area of his life, and he just kind of moved right in. He's got a lot of confidence, this horse. I like him quite a bit. I know I would like him if I met him. And I know I'd also like the dog a lot if I met her. They both have very strong personalities, but they're also pretty loving animals. They're smart. Both of them are smart. So they both got the brain power, horsey smart and doggy smart. And they kind of, in a way, mirror one another in a different body. So, it's a strong, confident dog and a strong, confident horse. And they realize you're different. We're different, even though, we relate to one another. I love that. That is so good. Love it. Thank you, Lark. That was a lot of fun.
Thank you, Lark.
Did you like that one?
That was beautiful. Beautiful the way it just flowed.
I know, so cute.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
thank you, everybody, for watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you enjoy this content, hit like, share, and subscribe. Remember to click the bell to be notified of future videos. Thanks again. Bye.